Hi, my name is Bobby Hagenbrook. I'm going to share the Back to Basics program. The Back to Basics program is a set program that I use to rehab my back. I herniated L4, L5. It was my third time doing it in the last 10 years. I had it from an old soccer injury and I had redone it last winter, December 2011, and it's currently, what month is it? September 2012. Totally recovered, been fine for many months. So the program got me back moving out of pain within 8 weeks. And I thought that was really great because I'd had two other situations in the past 10 years where it took me a lot longer, a couple years even, to get rehabbed and better and moving how I wanted to. So now I'm back to running and CrossFitting and being a mom and moving around in the day without pain. So we also incorporated this program into our gym. All of our members had to go through the program so they could kind of learn, okay, if you find that you form an injury, training, moving throughout the day, doing some type of race, here's some options. And pretty much what the program does is it gets you out of the high intensity, out of the heavy lifting. Everyone loves how traditional circuit training and weightlifting feels, but sometimes it's your own worst enemy. So this program gives people a chance to rehab their body, specifically low back. It gives them a chance to have kind of a set off season. If you have a hard CrossFit competition or you have a race, some type of a half marathon, something hard on your body that you need a little bit of time to recover. So you can use it for a rehab program. I used it for about 8 weeks, and then I felt good and started transitioning to a little bit more high intensity and more running stuff. And you can use it for a 1 week off season. You can use it for a 4 week off season. It's your choice depending on what you need it for. So in saying that, I'm just going to go through kind of the basic movements that are used for the standard warm-up for the program. The program's a 3-day-a-week program, and then twice a week combined with that you do some type of cardiovascular training that's not going to be aggressive on your body. So I use the Airdyne bike. It sits really upright, and I was able to maintain my fitness throughout the 8 weeks with doing stuff on the Back to Basics with the Airdyne. So that's the tool I used. I also did some really light running using good pose form running combined with that, and that was good for me. I try to learn as much as I can from Kelly's Threat and the Mobility WOD and the Paul Chek Institute with his corrective exercise practices. So I kind of use that for other people that need help, and we'll mimic the program based on what the person's going through, their history, and what they need the program for. So hopefully the program helps you how it helped us, and I'll go through the movements real quick here. So first movement is wall squat. Wall squat is just meant to get you squatting in good pattern, really trying to activate hamstring and all your good posture muscles. So you find a wall. You're going to stand with your feet in a narrow stance and get your toes as close to the wall as you can. Hands go down at 45 degrees. So that's a wall squat. If you feel like you're going to tip back, scoot away from the wall, give your feet some distance from the wall, and then rep by rep, try to cinch up, get more narrow, get closer to the wall. The point of it is slow control. You're really going to feel all your rectus work, you're really going to feel hamstrings, you're really going to feel your trunk working, chest working to stay upright. And it's really good for squat form. Your knees don't buckle, it really helps you sit back. So it's a good tool for any squat pattern. From that, you want to use kind of the same exact setup as your feet. You're going to do a goblet squat. Hold the kettlebell at your chest, hold the narrow stance, really sit back. At the bottom, you're going to push your knees out and hold it for about 5 seconds, trying to get a good stretch. And then you're going to go up and do another one. So for this, really trying to use hamstrings and glutes and drag knees away to get a really good stretch through your hip flexor area. So that's going to be your goblet squat. From there, hips are open pretty well. We're going to try to get shoulders to get open. Narrow kind of hold with your arms, and it's called, I think on the program, it's overhead squat SOTS combo. So the idea is keep arms narrow, try to keep arm behind the ear, hold that narrow squat, try to stay upright with your posture, hold at the bottom, lower the arms, keep them behind the ears, keep your chest upright, pause at the bottom, press, stand. So it's a combination of overhead squat and the soft press. So each rep should feel pretty challenging and hard. If you have really inflexible hips, shoulders feel really hard. You don't need any weight. When I do use weight with it, it's like 5 pounds. So very light. Guys, 10-pound dumbbells. If you have tight shoulders, bad flexibility here or in your ankles, then maybe don't even mess with weight, and just the use of your hands will be good. But the main thing with that is keep everything as upright as you can. It should be tough. From there, shoulders are warm, your squat's nice and ready. So we're going to go into an overhead squat with a really narrow grip. So what this is going to do is it's going to really work on posture. It's going to make you really activate here and here, and just keep you really upright. So narrow grip, squat. Squat. Feel free to go as light as you need to on that movement. You can use a PVC pipe, and just be real light with movement. Make sure the posture and the form is good. Not worrying about the weight too much. From there, in the program, we've got a straight leg deadlift. I like to use a wall to give me a target to really know how to use my hips and where to put my hips when I'm leaning over. So you can do it without any weight. You can do it with a barbell. I find a spot I like to take where I put my feet for a target. And then from here, I try to get real tight in my midsection and really think about hips reaching back, trying to keep my knees straight, and finding the wall for a target. Hold it about 2 seconds at the bottom, and then really think about keeping everything contracted as you come up. So this movement is just trying to tell you, when you're leaning over, you're doing that deadlift pattern, think about really driving hips back, really activating hamstring. So you can do it with no weight, with a barbell. From there, to get a little more depth from that movement, you can use a set of boxes or stack up a couple 45-pound plates, but something that's just going to allow you to have a little more depth when you're doing your movement. So 1 foot on each box, hold a medium weight dumbbell or kettlebell. I'm going to use a 25 on this. Chest out, shoulders back. Think about getting your whole body tight before you go down, and really driving hips back, keeping it tight. Trying to get deeper in that range of motion. Holding it at the bottom. And then up. So this is the pace that most of the movements are done at. Slow, controlled, really allowing your body to move through the whole movement and work through the whole movement, doing work. So some of the movements, you look at them and you're like, ooh, there's some basic squats, there's some planks, there's some lunging. The idea is slow and controlled through the whole standard warm-up. Another movement is lunge. A standard lunge would be 1 foot forward, hips drive down, and you would want that knee over the ankle. On this one, for this standard warm-up, we want to try to recruit hamstring and glute a little more. So we're going to step forward, and then we're going to kind of reach back a little bit. Step forward, tuck the hips back. From there, then you would go into an overhead hold to cause your body to stabilize a little bit more through the trunk. So 10-pound dumbbell for ladies, maybe 15, 20 for guys. You're gonna hold it overhead, really squeeze the weight nice and tight, get the ribs in tight, glutes are on. You're gonna step, and then drive hips back, step. So those are the basic movements for the standard warm-up. Again, keep in mind, they're slow and control. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'll have it written out in the program. But slow control, trying to really get your body comfortable moving in those patterns. And the point of them is to get your core nice and strong. That means here and in the back. And then really get hamstrings and glutes to refire and work to help you build strength so you're not vulnerable in your low back area. So good luck.